There are very few people in Attack on Titan who can stay composed in a world like this. A world where every day feels like the end. But Levi Ackerman isn't strong because he never breaks. He's strong because he learned how to keep going, even when there's nothing waiting for him at the end. No victory, no peace, no reward. Just more loss, and still he moves forward, because for Levi this was never about winning. It was about saving what was little left of humanity, no matter the cost. If you haven't seen Attack on Titan, there are heavy spoilers ahead, because in this story, resolve isn't what keeps you going fully. It's accepting that there may be nothing waiting for you when it's over.
Come on, let's have some.
Levi has countless moments that make people believe he's something beyond human. In a world built on fear, he stays composed. While others hesitate, he moves. While others break, he continues the mission. From the outside, it's easy to misunderstand that, to see him as cold, detached, even heartless. The kind of soldier who doesn't look back at the comrades left behind. But that's not what's happening. Levi sees something most people don't. He recognizes resolve even from a distance. He notices the will to fight, and he respects it. That's why he protects his subordinates without hesitation. His decisions aren't driven by emotion, they're driven by control. Even in chaos, his mind stays clear. That clarity didn't come from training. It came from somewhere he grew up, a place where survival was everything. Levi was born into a world that wasn't meant for him to survive. He was taught by Levi Ackerman on how to endure, and later guided by Erwin Smith when he later joined the Survey Corps. Someone who understood exactly what that endurance could become. And in the Scouts, every mission carries the same reality. Someone isn't coming back. Sometimes, most of them aren't. So Levi at this point doesn't look back, because he already understands what those deaths mean. They chose to fight, and in his eyes, that choice matters more than anything else, because everything he does, every decision, comes back to that one belief: the mission must continue. And everyone who steps onto that battlefield already know the stakes. They know what they're risking. They know what they might lose. Stopping the mission doesn't honor that. It wastes it. Hesitation is what turns sacrifice into nothing. Once you see it that way, his perspective becomes clearer. It's the same reality that shaped Erwin Smith. Plans that move humanity forward while leaving countless soldiers behind. Because in this world, loss is unavoidable. And for someone like Armin, for example, that weight is super heavy. It creates doubts around him. It slows him down. But Levi in that case doesn't have that hesitation. He's already accepted the outcome. That's why when others begin to break, he's the one who steadies them. Not with comfort, but mostly with clarity. And despite how it looks, Levi cares deeply. He values human life more than most. You see it in the way he questions unnecessary sacrifice, and the way he pushes his soldiers to think for themselves, when he says in certain occasions that actually they might be right and he might be wrong, to avoid mistakes that could cost them everything. Even the idea that Titans were once human is enough to disturb him when he finds out, because to Levi, like I said before, every life matters, and that's exactly why he keeps moving forward. A mindset like that doesn't come for free, it's built. And in Levi's case, it was built in a place where humanity barely existed, the underground, a world where survival came before everything else. Levi didn't grow up with guidance. He didn't learn what was right or wrong. He learned just how to endure. And like I said, with Kenny, he learned how to survive in a world that offered him nothing. And then when he grew up, he was left alone to figure out the rest. No direction, no purpose, just instincts. And people who come from places like that don't usually become who Levi became. But Levi did, and that changes everything, because the same discipline that allows him to stay composed also forces him into decisions that look cruel. In this example, when he beat Eren Yeager to a pulp. To others, this looks very excessive and unnecessary, but Levi understands what's at stake. Eren isn't just a person anymore, he's a risk. So in everyone's eyes, he looks like a risk. So Levi steps in and controls the situation, even if it means being seen as the enemy.
今お前に必要なのは言葉による教育ではなく教訓だ。 しゃがんでるからちょうど蹴りやすいしな。
Even the way Levi fights is different, not just in skill, but in intent. There's weight behind every movement he does, because when you've seen that much loss, it stays with you. And then there's that night in the forest. All these titans in front of him weren't strangers. They were his squad, people he knew and led, and he still had to kill them, one by one, knowing exactly who caused it, Zeke Yeager. And this is very important, because in this moment, it would have been easy to give in, chase him, and kill him right then and there, to act in anger, but Levi doesn't. He stops, because the mission comes first.
ひげ面てめえくせえし汚えしブサイクじゃねえかクソがなあ殺しゃしねえから安心しろ
And that's what separates him from everybody else in this sense. It's not just his strength, but his control, his ability to stay composed even when you had to do all of that because of one person. This isn't just pain, it's mostly repetition, that endless cycle that keeps taking from him, and still he continues, which makes you question everything. Is it worth it in reality, losing that much for so little in return? Or is this what strength really is, carrying everything that was lost and moving forward anyway? Let's put it into perspective. Let's say you were placed in Levi's position. Most people wouldn't make it, let's be honest here. Not because they lack strength, but because that kind of life demands something most people can't sustain. A constant awareness that any day could be your last. That the people around you won't all make it back. And even with Levi there, nothing is guaranteed, because every decision, no matter what or no matter who you are with, comes with loss. And yet, he never tries to control everything. If you notice, he likes to leave most of his decisions to his subordinates. He mostly just follows but executes flawlessly. Because in a world like this, he has learned that everybody has to carry their own decisions, even when their superiors are not present. That mindset could feel distant and cold, but when you understand his past, you realize something. Respect isn't given easily, it's earned. And to Levi, trusting someone means believing they can survive in this world. And he's not alone. People like Erwin Smith, Pixies, they all see it the same way. That even the smallest chance to move humanity forward is worth everything, even if it costs thousands of lives. From the outside, it looks cruel, but to them, it was bigger than one life.
いや違うあの兵士たちに意味を与えるのは我々だ思うことができるのは聖者である我々だ兵士を怒れ兵士を戦え
And sometimes that specific belief right there is what pushes people forward. This story makes one thing clear. As long as humanity exists, so will conflict. Different beliefs, different ideals, and eventually those differences turn into war. Even at the end, the cycle always continues. It's like Hanji Zoe said, we're literally just delaying the inevitable. And that's what creates people like Eren Yeager, the belief that there is no real solution. So he becomes the villain. And Levi sees it, he hates it. If you remember, he mentioned before that he hated the look that people in the underground have. It was disgusting, it was repugnant. And what he tells Eren in this scene is very important.
This takes me back, Eren. You have a real kickable face, you know that? I know that face. I used to see it on the rotten shits I met in the underground. Never thought I'd see it on you.
Because Eren is the result of everything that came before him. And that's where Levi stands apart. While others give in to anger and revenge, Levi holds it back because he knows what happens when you don't. That cycle continues. Raised to believe in an enemy and never given the chance to question it. Even the Titans were victims in the story. And in a world like that, Levi becomes something rare. It's not the hero or savior, but a reminder that even when everything falls apart, you can still choose control, acceptance, awareness. Even when there's nothing left to gain, you can still move forward. And maybe that's the closest thing to peace this world ever had. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss on weekly uploads of this beautiful journey of character storytelling.